Even though traveling by plane is the safest way to travel, accidents sometimes happen. Let's take a look at a single engine failure on an airliner. In this tutorial, we'll be taking a look at the Boeing 777-200ER, as I think it's the mostly flown airliner in FlightGear. You will probably find that for other airliners, the impact of a single engine failure might be anywhere from slightly to entirely different. The options for all system failures can be found in this menu. Unchecking a box here and clicking Apply or OK will fill that specific system. Or if you like to be surprised, you can use the random system failures to make the plane malfunction when you might not expect it at all. Let's say we have an engine failure at this moment on takeoff. If you still have enough runway left to stop the plane, or in pilot terms if you haven't reached the V1 speed yet, quickly abort takeoff. On the 777, if your speed is above 80 knots, hit the reversers and be prepared to correct any sideways movements of the plane using the rudder. The auto brakes should then kick in if you have done your takeoff checklist properly, but if they don't, use the regular brakes to stop the plane. But an engine failure can be much worse when it happens right after your plane's wheels left the ground. If this happens, try to keep your plane's wings leveled and bring the nose of the aircraft slightly down. This is to maintain your airspeed. Only retract the flaps when your airspeed is high enough. You don't want to risk losing your climb. As soon as you think the situation is under control, you can activate the autopilot to maintain your current heading and to climb to a safe altitude. With the autopilot enabled, you now have your hands free to plan a way to a nearby airfield to land safely and to attempt restarting the lost engine. Dropping fuel might be necessary if your takeoff weight was above the maximum landing weight. Once you've found a safe place to land, preferably an ILS equipped runway, you can prepare for approach. Keep in mind that the approach and touchdown speed might be higher, and it's not clever to fully extend the flaps. Also, you might consider using the auto brakes. Now, I said it's useful if the runway is ILS equipped, but I found that it's not always a good idea to make the autopilot perform the approach. It also takes away the fun of landing the plane, of course. When your attempts at restarting the engines have failed and you're ready to land the plane, deactivate the autopilot and take over control of the aircraft. And even though the auto throttle can react to sudden winds more quickly than any human, it's still better to switch it off, as the fast engine power changes can make your plane unstable on approach. Use the ILS localizer to stay lined up with the runway. You will need some flying skills here. Using the ILS as your guide, you could even do this in low visibility scenarios. Keep an eye on the localizer, the glide slope and especially your speed. Here I'm following the glide slope at a speed of just above 160 knots. This would be a rather high speed for a normal approach, but considering my current flap setting, which is 15, it's better to stay above those 160 knots. Once you're getting lower, you can reduce the engine power slightly. After touchdown, apply the brakes accordingly. Keep in mind that your airspeed is way higher than usual and you don't want to overheat your wheel brakes, so using the engine reverser might be a good idea. I hope this tutorial was helpful to you. Be sure to film your one-engine landings and upload them to YouTube. I hope to see you back next time for the next episode of FlightGear How To.